This is a catalytic event, Scott, that has rallied the entire crypto community. Trying to go fix the rest of the world is a fool's errand. We're not going to fix everything else. There's 100 other things that we could dwell on, but they're above our pay grade. And you want to fix that? You need $25 trillion to make a dent at that thing.
Welcome back to Library of Wealth. MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor discusses his prediction for the impact Bitcoin will have on the crypto market in the last part of 2023. Saylor believes that Bitcoin's success is due to its adoption, and because it's controlled by no one. He sees Bitcoin as a catalyst that has brought the community together after a period of economic turmoil over the past year. Saylor argues that Bitcoin's trajectory is based on its ability to facilitate the ethical movement of money, which is the opposite of fiat currency and the banking crises that we've seen unfold. Saylor says that Bitcoin becoming the reserve asset will change the world of finance as we know it. Let's get right into the latest interview with Michael Saylor as he discusses his Bitcoin prediction for 2023 and why it has a massive advantage over every other major cryptocurrency. If you enjoy the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get right into the video.
If everybody's afraid of everything else, but I've shown you a way to move money over IP in a open, permissionless fashion that's ethically sound, that's economically sound, and that's technically sound, then again, I've invented money over IP. TCP/IP changed the world, voice over IP changed the world, money over IP will change the world. There's been this struggle about what is money over IP. Well, it's got to be an open, permissionless protocol. You can't own it. If Linus Torvalds had owned a 20% royalty on Linux, it wouldn't be Linux. Stephen Jobs declared war on Flash, and he elevated HTML, HTML5, and he elevated other open protocols because he understood that you can't assert proprietary ownership on this stuff. In fact, it was, I'm old enough to remember when DECnet, and Token Ring were the networking protocols, and they were owned by Digital and IBM, and they went to zero. And TCP/IP, which was thought to be, this technically complicated protocol that was too hard to use and not business friendly and the like, it destroyed everybody because it was open information. It was information on IP. And eventually voice over IP did the same thing. Initially, it was college girls talking to their boyfriends on Skype. And then it turned the world upside down. And I think money over IP is the same thing. So that would be my framing of everything going on right now. Bitcoin is an idea whose time has come. I don't think, by the way, Scott, I don't think that the Bitcoin rally is due to mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin rally is due to crypto adoption of Bitcoin.
Agreed.
This is a catalytic event, Scott, that has rallied the entire crypto community behind Bitcoin. I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried and all of the other crypto ideas, of which there were probably 25 of them, they were frenemies and they could not agree. And I think that when we really have to put our differences aside and agree on one thing, which is Bitcoin is good, right? And if you want to boil this down, like my view is Bitcoin is open, permissionless, digital commodity. Nobody controls it. Everybody has to pay their way into it. If I want to have Bitcoin, I put $4.2 billion of real cash into Bitcoin. And if I say the wrong thing, the maximalists shred me tomorrow. And I know that I don't have any control whatsoever over the protocol, even though I paid $4 billion to buy into it, because it's everybody's property. And so Bitcoin is this common thing we can all agree on and nobody owns. Everything else, they're all good ideas, Scott.
Saylor acknowledges the potential of other digital tokens, but suggests that they require building equity and battling regulatory conflict. In contrast, he sees Bitcoin as the one great idea that can be the foundation for a new world built on ethical, rational applications. Saylor believes Bitcoin is the only trusted, successful digital token.
Digital tokens, Tom Brady token, Katy Perry token, they're good ideas. 24/7, 365 trading is a good idea. Being able to launch 100,000 securities a million times cheaper than the 20th century way, it's a good idea. DeFi, a good idea. They're all good ideas, but they all have risk and complication to them. And for the most part, it's like companies with equities, and you need to build a company, build the equity. I'm not going to endorse any company, no matter how good an idea it is. I'm not going to, you're like Bitcoin miner. You're a Bitcoin miner, but is it a good idea? Maybe it is until the regulators shut it down in China. It's like they all have risk. And so I think when the crypto community says, hey, we have a lot of good ideas, but there is one great, insanely great idea that we all have to support. And that one insanely great idea is Bitcoin. And if we make Bitcoin the reserve asset of the crypto ecosystem, and if we focus on what made the Bitcoin network anti-fragile, then at least we've found our moral bearings, our economic bearings, and we found our technical bearings. And you can build a world based upon that foundation. But if you run away from that foundation, you're building on a bed of sand, and everything is fragile and it all crumbles under your feet. And so that's why Bitcoin is rallying right now. And we're still early days with regard to the mainstream community getting it. I'll make one more point now and I'll shut up. My last point is we're still 0.1%, 0.2% of the mainstream finance world. And so everything going on in the crypto ecosystem and the Bitcoin world is really just a sideshow. What happens in this mainstream opera, the regulators, the politicians, they're going to fight and they're going to take lots of action to stabilize that. That's above my pay grade. We're not going to fix that. There's a lot of complicated stuff that's going to go on. What you can expect is this is just taking us from 0.1% to 0.2% to 0.4%. to eventually 1%.
Despite his optimism, Saylor recognizes that fixing the world's problems is above the pay grade of individuals in the crypto space. He estimates that addressing those issues would require around $25 trillion of funding, which is not feasible for the crypto community. Saylor also acknowledges that mainstream finance is still the main show, and crypto is just a sideshow. However, he believes that Bitcoin's growth will be astronomical in the coming months. Saylor remains optimistic about Bitcoin's ability to bring together diverse stakeholders, and says that investors will immediately turn to crypto when the fiat currency system collapses. What do you think about Michael Saylor's prediction for Bitcoin in 2023? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.